Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty consultant who loves to talk about everything dealing with beauty and makeup, and today we've got the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. Of course, we're going to be doing a full day wear test, at least 8 hours of wear, and I'll be showing you what it looks like in my studio lighting, natural lighting, outside lighting, all the types of lighting, letting you know if it's worthy of flash photography testing, and then of course telling you what skin type I think this foundation works best for, maybe who should avoid it, all of that stuff. Stay till the end of the video for that. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And if you would not mind to go ahead, subscribe to this channel because you're gonna enjoy the content because we make good content over here. So let's get right into this video. So like I said, we have the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. It does come in 30 flexible, keyword is flexible, shades. So here's what the packaging of the bottle looks like. It is a glass container and it does come with a pump. And I might add onto it that this is a nice secured cap. It's not gonna be falling off and, you know, falling out of your bag or what have you. I did pick up the shade 17N, which is for medium with neutral undertone skin types, and we do get 1 fluid ounce of product or 30 milliliters of product. Now, like I said, 30 shades, and Mario said that the shades are flexible. So I've seen a couple of comments about the shade range, and with Mario saying that the shades are flexible, this means that one shade could potentially work for multiple complexions. And I will say straight off the bat that I think that this formula is sheer enough where that could actually be pretty on par, because you'll see in the demonstration that applying one layer of this particular foundation, the coverage is not thick at all. The formula is not thick either. I used 2 pumps of the foundation on my face, and blending it with a flat, more dense type of brush, I was able to shear it out. He also says that the formula is blendable and customizable in terms of coverage. So if you want a little light layer of coverage, I saw him using his foundation and cream brush. It's a dual-sided brush, and he said to initially, use the denser side to put on the foundation, and then you can use the fluffier side to blend it out for more of a sheer coverage. So I would agree that this formula is buildable, and I would agree that it's also blendable. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, so if you hear the little stuffiness, that's what's going on here. So getting into a little bit more of what he says about the foundation, he does say that this is a hydrating luminous formula. We can get up to medium coverage, which I would agree to, and that it's a long wearing formula. So it's going to be infused with grapeseed oil and vegetal squalene, which provides restoring, moisturizing benefits. It's also formulated with perfecting powders. So this is going to work with the skin's natural texture for a smooth and enhanced finish. Lastly, it said that this foundation will reveal the skin's natural luminosity. It features a moisture grip technology and hydrates skin and glides on easily for customizable coverage. And then it says that this buildable formula is going to work harmoniously with powders or creams while staying true to its original color. And I would also agree to that as well. I do not feel like that this particular foundation has oxidized. I've had it on now for about 2 hours, and I had it on my face for about, I would say maybe about a good 30 minutes before I put any concealer on, and I felt like the shade that you saw upon initial application is and was the shade that still remained true. So I would agree with that. Now, upon application, which at this point you already have seen the demo, it went on so beautifully. I would say that this is a foundation that you could truly put on your skin and then walk out of the door. Like, it looks so natural, like on the skin. And the shade 17N is perfection. It is a true, beautiful, neutral type of undertone. It's not too cool, it's not too warm, doesn't look too orange, doesn't look too ashy on the skin. Like, it is a beautiful and perfected undertone. I will say that. Now, I can't talk about the other shades. I can talk about 17N. For me, this would be a foundation that if I literally wanted to put it on my face and be out the door, I feel like I could do that. Now, in terms of the luminosity is there. And I would not say that this formula, as of right now at the 2-hour mark, I do not feel like this formula is leaning greasy. It's not leaning excessively dewy. So I have pretty normal skin. And when I initially put on my concealer, just so you know, I used Dior's Backstage Concealer 3W. That's a more natural kind of demi-matte type of concealer. And then for bronzer, I first went in with the Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I used the shade Medium Dark, but I felt like the Skin Enhancer has a glossy formula, and I was like, eesh, I don't want you all to feel like you're seeing a lot of dew because it's the soft sculpting formula versus the foundation. So then I went in with a matte bronzer by LYS Beauty to kind of tone down the glossiness. And so I did set my T-zone with powder, and then I just lightly dusted powder all over my face. So this is what we have. I used a matte cream blush for my blush. I don't have on any highlight. So at this point, I do feel like we do still see some luminous glow coming from the foundation. I do have pretty normal skin, and I really enjoy this. So coming in close, looking at it on my skin, I think it looks really, really beautiful. It definitely does have some nice medium coverage. With what I applied, I felt like it toned down some of my redness. I think it covered the blemishes pretty nicely, like nothing cakey, nothing that's like gonna take the blemish away, but it definitely tones down redness. I feel like with my pores, they are not overly accentuated. I don't feel like this foundation is going to diminish pores or anything like that, but sometimes with a more luminous type of foundation, concealer, or a complexion product, pores or texture can be accentuated, and I feel like I'm not getting any of that with this foundation. However, like I said, I did go ahead and powder my T-zone with some light powder. So I think any type of diminishing of pores that you do see is going to be due to the powder and not the foundation. And then in terms of my smile line, I have a nice smile line right here. And so far, we just have like the tiniest bit of settling, which is very common for me. So at this point, I feel like this foundation is not accentuating my smile lines, which I'm very happy about. And like I said, we're only at the 2-hour mark, but sometimes we can see things at the 2-hour mark. So I like to address everything that I can. But so far, this looks so pretty. And I went and touched my face to see, like, did my face feel kind of sticky? Because it was very radiant, very like glossy like on the skin upon initial application. And I don't feel like my face feels sticky or anything like that. So at this point, I'm very happy with where and how the foundation looks. I would say from what I've gathered from what Mario said and from what I'm experiencing with myself, I think we need to enter into this foundation wear test with the idea that this is going to be skin-like. He's not looking and not trying to make anything that's going to be like a masking of a foundation or the most coverage. Even on the box, he says, I put my heart into this groundbreaking formula with the hope of not creating a barrier of foundation, but rather awakening the true infinite beauty that lies within. So for me, this is Surreal skin. So I'm looking at this foundation, like at the end of the day, I should feel like I'm seeing my skin, but better. I should not feel like I've got full-on coverage, everything is masked, and like, this is the most perfecting foundation. I'm entering this wear test like, how is my skin gonna look at the end of the day? And is this formula gonna be long wearing? Because those are the claims that he wants us to know about. So that's what we're gonna be looking for at the end of the day. So I'm gonna go about my day, finish wearing this foundation. I'll check back in at least 6 hours because I love to keep foundations on for a minimum of 8 hours, and we'll see how we're doing. So stay tuned. Okay, we are back. It is the end of the day. I've had this foundation on for 8 hours, so let's come in close and see what we're looking like. Okay, so after 8 hours of wear, we can definitely see a lot of luminosity. And remember, like the last clip that we saw, I'm looking to see how does my skin look because Mario says that this is supposed to be a skin enhancing type of foundation. And I think after 8 hours of wear, I can definitely see that the foundation is still on because I still see some of my blush, my bronzer is still on, I've got some breakouts right along here, and I don't see a lot of redness peeking through in those areas. And I think 8 hours in, we're looking pretty good. So some things that I want to point out is that I would definitely say right off of the bat that if you do not like luminosity with your foundation, this is not going to be the foundation for you. And what I mean by that is this. I have pretty normal skin, and I definitely see some dew coming through around my nose. I'm looking at my face from afar, and I do see some radiance coming through. So if you're someone who has oilier skin, you don't like to see a lot of radiance with your complexion, then I don't think this is going to be a product for you. With that said, if you do like a radiant finish, but you don't like an oily look to your face, you might be okay with this, because touching my face still feels pretty set. It doesn't feel oily or greasy, but like I said, we do see luminosity. Mario says that this formula is supposed to be very hydrating as well, and I would say that my skin feels like skin. Like, I don't feel like my skin feels dry, and it doesn't feel like I have anything on as well. So this is also, in my opinion, a lightweight formula. The way that this looks on the skin, it reminds me of the Hourglass Soft Glow Foundation, except that this formula is more hydrating. So I do feel like this would be a great formula for individuals that have drier skin types, normal skin type. And then I say if you have an oilier skin type, or maybe combination oily skin type, I don't know. Like I said, it all depends on how you like the look of your foundation to be. For me, when I would wear this again, I'm definitely gonna mix this with the Universal Balm Powder, because I do feel like I would get a better wear of this. So just looking at the formula, like coming in a little close, I do feel like there is some creasing around my nose. And with the concealer that I have on today, I've used that one time and time again, so I know it's not the concealer. I do know that this is the foundation kind of wearing away, but there's still coverage there. So it hasn't worn away to the point where I see all of my redness coming through, but I do see that it is kind of breaking apart a bit. So for me, I know that when I mix this with the balm powder, that's gonna help the foundation wear longer and look a little better throughout the day. So that is one thing that I would do for myself. And then if you do have an oilier skin type, the balm powder is gonna help to control your oils. So that might be a way that someone with oilier skin could enjoy this foundation, and not take away the luminosity of it, but maybe tone it down a bit. But I think for not using a primer, for not really setting my skin hardcore, this still looks really, really beautiful 8 hours later. In terms of it being long wearing, I do feel like it is starting to wear down a bit. Mario doesn't state how long wearing it's supposed to be, so I would say this could get you through a work day. Could this get me through another 4 hours of wear? I'm not sure about that yet. I'll continue to wear it and let you all know my thoughts if, like, you know, it can be extended if I do this or that, or if like 8 hours is about as good as we're gonna get. But off of first impression, off of what I've done today, I think this foundation held up really well. I really do like it. I'm excited to wear it again. And I would definitely say pick it up. If you can find a shade, if you feel like this formulation is going to be one that will work for your skin, give it a try, because it's still really, really beautiful. And even though I do have just a little dew right around here, I feel like I see more radiance and luminosity over oiliness and dewiness. And I hope that makes sense, because there is a difference. Because when this area looks oily and dewy, I'm like, oh, let's take it off. I don't have the inclination to take it off. I do have the inclination to touch it up. But I feel like this really does help to boost your inner radiance, like Mario says. And that's obviously due to the formulation of it. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of the foundation? If you have it, do you love it? What are your thoughts? And if you have a drier skin type, a normal skin type, oilier skin type, let us know your thoughts and your experiences with it, because, you know, that'll help us all to be more well-rounded individuals. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.